Borderlands 4 has been a whirlwind of issues, egotistical CEOs, and a surprisingly very competent game when everything works together that a lot of people tend to take for granted. Or we're not talking about it because of the maniacal, egotistical CEO who is doing all he can on Twitter or whatever. If you know, you know. But we're not here to talk about that. Today we're here to talk about the actual game. We're here to talk about the gripes I have with the game and also the good things about the game that I think needs to be spoken about in this review. So, man, I'm the culture. Welcome back to the channel. It's by Senzu. Back at the game, back with another video. And in today's video, we will be talking about Borderlands 4. Is it worth it right now? Should you get it right now? Should you wait? TLDR, it is a very good game, especially if you're a Borderlands fan. But at the same time, I think this is the type of game that you should probably wait till all the patches are done and when there's probably a sale. But yeah, that's what I was saying. But if you're still here, let's actually go to the meat and potatoes of the actual game. So, similar to what I said in my first monologue that I put out in the beginning of this video talking about the performance, if you watch my other video talking about Borderlands 4, which was more so of a critique as opposed to like an actual verdict or first impressions, the performance of this game is flawed. The game, especially on PC, not even especially on PC, on both console and on PC, Borderlands 4 has been known to be a very messy game. And not in regards to bugs, it's more so to do with like just performing, just actually keeping up to the same steady frame rate FPS that you would expect from a first-person shooter game, which unfortunately is not what Borderlands 4 is currently. There are a lot of issues on PC, there are a lot of issues on console, and people think that because it's good on console doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be good on PC. No, it's bad on both fronts. It's just that console isn't being spoken about as much as you get on PC. But I can go all into details about it. You can watch hardware unboxed. You can watch Daniel Owen's videos on Borderlands 4 PC performance or just performance in general. This game shouldn't have released in this state. It's gotten better along the weeks. It's gotten better with just more patches being upgraded and added to the game every now and then. But honestly speaking, it's too late to actually fix the bad impressions people have of this game already. And I don't blame anyone for not getting the game. I don't blame anyone for refunding this game. But yeah, that's without saying. So let's actually get into the actual game. So Borderlands 4, basically to me, I just finished playing Borderlands 4, put about 37 hours into it as Vex the Siren. And honestly, it is a evolution of what you got in Borderlands 3. Now, if you're someone like me, who's not that many people who are like me who like Borderlands 3. We all like Borderlands 3 for the gameplay mechanics. The shooter mechanics in Borderlands 3 was spot on. It was great. It felt smooth. And this is after how many years coming back into this game, but it was solid on launch. Now, with Borderlands 4, it's an evolution and a step up from that particular system of looter shooter games in regards to just how the guns feel. The guns feel amazing. The loot system has been worked on whereby you don't get as many legendary loots gear as you did back in the previous game in Borderlands 3. It took me a while to find a legendary weapon that was actually better than my actual weapons, which were either rare or epic. So it works, it helps, but at the same time, there's also a case of there are some times where I'm like, oh, I'm doing all this hard work, I've beaten this boss, I've beaten this battle, I'm winning, I'm doing everything, but I'm not getting the loot I thought I would get. You get a lot of instances of that situation where you're going into the mines, you're beating the vault bosses, but you don't get a really powerful loot when fighting those bosses. Honestly, the loot system in this game has been worked on and I think has been improved, but there are certain things I'm not entirely sure why they went with that route, especially when it comes to loot. But it goes without saying, I know a lot of us complain about what happened in Borderlands 3, whereby we were getting epic loots, legendary loots every single time, and it actually just lost the importance of actually getting said loot. Okay, now, the story and tone of Borderlands 4, for the most part, is sound. For the most part, it is compelling. The side quests as well are actually really good. There's a particular side quest in this game. It's a Borderlands game, so you obviously are going to make fun of pop culture, modern culture references, things like Pokemon, things like things like Embracer Group. It's a lot of jokes in this game that thrown at that are making fun of the modern day culture, pop culture in general, and just things happening in the game industry as well, which is compelling, which is good. As for the actual main plot of the game, it's very grounded in similar to like in Borderlands 1 or Borderlands 2. The Timekeeper as a villain probably isn't as compelling as what you would have in a handsome Jack in Borderlands 2. But he is maniacal. You can feel that, oh, yo, this guy's going to be a problem. This guy's going to cause a lot of things happening in the streets. You feel me? But at the same time, it's like, he's not always in your face, in the sense that he mocks you. He's always saying something like, oh, hey, you will never be great. Oh, hey, you will never stop me. Oh, hey, you're just a speck in this whole eternity and whatever. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. He is maniacal, don't get me wrong. But he's not Handsome Jack. He's not going to be that out of the world character that's going to like just, yo, I love this game because of the villain. That's not the type of character he is. Now, this game has certain issues when it comes to difficulty spikes, and maybe this has to do with me playing on hard. I played on hard for the most part, but you will get to a certain point in the game whereby you're facing enemies that you can't even see their level. Like, you really see like an exclamation mark with red saying that, oh, yo, this is danger. Get the fuck away from this enemy because this enemy is way higher than you. Even though you can actually beat these enemies and take these enemies on if you have the right gear, but there's definitely a difficulty spike when it comes to this game. Borderlands 3 I felt was easier than what I would expect from a Borderlands game. Borderlands 2 was challenging. Borderlands 3 not so much. Borderlands 4 for the most part at the beginning, and I was playing on hard, so maybe I'm just a better gamer than people. Maybe. I'm good at FPS games. Not the best, but I'm solid. It felt easy at the beginning, started getting challenging, but nothing that, oh yeah, that was my fault. Until it got to the point where like, okay, yo, this is busted. There's no reason why the enemies I'm seeing in the open world, and we will speak about the open world in a minute. There's no reason why the enemies I'm seeing in the open world should be more powerful than the enemies I'm facing in boss areas. Makes no sense. Okay. Now, Borderlands 4 has taken a different approach from Borderlands 3, especially when I just mentioned open world, is that the game's an open world. It's literally distinct hubs, not even hubs, distinct areas on distinct parts of the map that have their different feel, a different vibe. You're going from jungles and beaches all the way to deserts, all the way to like a snowy mountain, all the way to a cyberpunk city. So different themes and different things putting inputs involved in terms of like the environment storytelling of this particular game, which is solid. And honestly, I wasn't sure about open world games, especially with my actual one of the big videos I made. We had to do with open world games being oversaturated and not being the games that we thought they could be. I think open world works for a game like Borderlands 4, sorry. And it's surprising that it does, because I thought that, okay, yeah, I'm going to get tired of playing open world games. I'm going to get tired of this like I got tired of other open world games. The last open world game that I played that really took me by the balls was something like Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And even though I got burnt out from just doing everything else, I am going to go back to that game in a minute, hopefully. But with Borderlands 4, it brings out that addictive personality you get when you play Borderlands 2, in that you're always looking for the best loot. In this case, it's always like, oh, yo, I have the opportunity to get the best loot over here. I have the opportunity to get the best loot over there. You see me act like a madman, going to do the collectibles, going to do this mission, going to do that side mission, you know, flirting around with other people and stuff like that. It works for Borderlands. And it's a very good thing it works. And I'm happy it does. And I think this should be, and I think honestly, even though it's a big open world, it's still measured in its scale and in its scope that I prefer to something that's like, yo, vast. Like something like an Assassin's Creed, which is just massive. You're like, bro, I'm realistically not going to get to this part of the map just because it's just too big for me. That came out the wrong way, but you get what I'm saying. Anyways, now, in terms of like build crafting and builds, I played as Vex, who's a Siren on this game, and I focused more on crit damages, with Trouble being my main companion. And honestly, this game was solid. There was a point in time I was just getting some nasty kills, bro. I'm pretty sure you've seen in the video, I was just busting niggas' asses, like pause. Yeah, in short, Borderlands 4 as a game is a good game. It's a very good game, especially if you're a Borderlands fan. If you love Borderlands 3's gameplay, this is an evolution of that game. So it's a definitely must buy for people like that. But at the same time, I wouldn't recommend you get this game now, because I do think that there are a lot of things to work on in terms of like the technical performance, patches to be added, setting things up. The end game, I haven't really gone into the end game. Like, as I'm recording this video, I literally just finished this game like 30 minutes ago. So there is that as well. So I do think you can wait for a sale, hoping that this game is fixed, so that I wait for a sale, get some DLC along the line that also makes sense, and you probably have the best moment you've had with this game if you're a Borderlands fan. If you've never liked Borderlands as a series, as a concept, then this isn't going to change your mind. This isn't the game to actually bring you into the Borderlands franchise. So what do you think about the video? Leave in the comment section down below what you think. If you've watched this, thank you, appreciate you. I hope you guys have a lovely day. The next game I probably will be playing at some point will be Hades 2. It's a roguelike game. I don't know how I feel about roguelikes. I don't really finish roguelike games, but we'll try this one out. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope to hear from you soon. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Peace.